For your opening statement. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I mean, just first of all, I just want to, kind of recap a little bit about this week and this game. It's unbelievable the way our guys came out and prepared to play this week. Kind of go back to Monday when we found out we were going to be missing a few guys and unavailable this week. Cole Bentley, who's really started center for really our whole time we've been here. And then I think Robbie Bell had surgery on Monday, so he's out. That was our second center. We moved Cam George to center. He hadn't played center for us since he's been here. Now he's played every other position, but Cam has not played center. So we moved Cam to center on Wednesday, and then we find out he's going to be unavailable. So Thursday we moved to Austin Collins, our I guess you'd call it a fourth center, but you usually don't have four centers. You usually have maybe two, and then an emergency. But we had to go to the fourth center, Austin Collins, which was a defensive lineman at Cal last year. I was watching him play with my sons. And so we moved him to center. And he's a little bit nervous, but had a great 2 days of practice, Thursday and Friday. And then he goes out today and snaps 70 balls to Malik and really, really played a really, really good game. And so proud of him. And Josh Black's another freshman that we had to put up front at right guard, who's never really played for us as well. We find out Friday that Ian Pfeiffer is unavailable, another senior. So Francis Sherman has to slide into that spot. He's a walk-on freshman that's worked his tail off since he's been here. He's a guy who's put on about 35 pounds since he's been here. Incredible story. He catches 3 balls and a touchdown today and made it look easy out there. And Watkins, another guy, who's another freshman that was out there. Scored a touchdown today. Incredible to see that. We started Fitzpatrick brothers, the first play of game today. So there's another freshman that started there. And, it's just incredible. And, so I'm kind of talking about these young guys right now, but I think I really want to talk about the seniors as well. What they've meant to me, what they've meant to this program over the years. And for us, for 2 years, being here in this program, and all they've done is work. They just work their tails off. I'm so proud of them. We told them in the locker room, how proud we are of them. We love them. Big things for those guys. And I'm sure there'll be a few of those guys that'll come back, but I think some are going to go on and try to pursue an opportunity and at the next level in this game. So really proud of those guys. And we talked about this week how they'd remember this game for the rest of their life. I mean, as a senior, you always remember your last game. And to come out today and to play the way we played. And it was a total team effort today. Incredible team effort. The best team game we've played this year. And that's awesome to see. Early on, offensively, struggled a little bit. We were, troublesome protections early on and, getting the ball out there. We maybe got sacked a couple of times and, we're not getting first downs, but the defense hung in there and kept us in the game. They played outstanding today. We fumbled up a punt, and then we end up getting tackled there, a loss for that, and they end up scoring. But outstanding job by our defense. Our staff did a great job. This is an offense that averaged close to 40 points a game coming into this game, right at 39.5, and they did an outstanding job today of containing them. The stats from their quarterback, wasn't very good. I think our guys did a great job of making him throw it and any of the knockdown balls. We flipped the script on them today as far as turnover margin. They're number 1 team in the country in turnover margin. We're toward the bottom. Today we're a +2. Huge difference in the game because that's big momentum. I thought the drive of the day was third quarter. We come out in the third quarter, we got the ball, and we drive down the field and I think take off maybe 7 minutes on the clock. I thought we just gained momentum right there to finish this game out. And they made a little bit of a run, but our guys, battled back. And now I say complete game because our special teams. We created another turnover on special teams today, and then JT knocking down field goals. JT, man, we hadn't said a whole lot about JT this year, but one of the better field goal kickers in the country this year. Extremely solid. I think he's missed the 252 yarders. That's it. So he's been great. So a lot of things that were awesome to see today. To score 45, that's incredible with what we had out there, man. But just the guys played so awesome, and so just credit to all of them. I also want to say, to our whole staff, we think about Matt Summers and the athletic trainers, what they've been able to do this year, remarkable. our equipment staff, having to, keep everything clean as far as our gear and all that, Chuck and Ed and all those guys and all our workers in that room, incredible. Our recruiting department, what they've had to put up with all this year, not even having recruits here and having to do everything through Zoom and all that, unbelievable. I'm not leaving anybody out. Everybody, our nutritionists, Vicky and Denise and Robin, all our ladies upstairs. I mean, it's been obviously the most trying year that we've all had, I think, collectively as all of us. But we're trying to run a football program with 120, 18 to 22-year-olds. And so it takes everybody. Our administration also, I mean, there's so much planning went on to all this. And to execute the plan, our guys did an outstanding job with that. Again, it takes everybody. So I can't say enough about everybody that's been involved for this year. We played 11 games. There's a lot of programs out there that's trying to play 2, 3, 4 games. We played 11. Again, just proud of everybody with that. And to end the season on a high note, it'll propel us as we head into the offseason. Our signing class next week, roster management things, because that's going to come up as well as you think about next semester with these seniors, like who's coming back, who's not. So roster management is always something that we have to talk about. And then also coming up with a plan. What are we doing next semester? How are we getting our team better? Our guys are already fired up, about ready to come back here. I said get a little bit of break. We all need a break over Christmas, but they'd be ready to come back in January, and they're fired up for it, and we're excited to get them back here.
All right, we'll go first to Russ Brown.
Yeah, Scott, hard to know where to start after a game like that. But first of all, a two-part question, really. Did you, with everybody that was going to be out, did you consider canceling the game? And also, how important was this to you personally after what you've been through the last 2 weeks?
Well, I think, we started the season. We want to play. We want to play the game. And so there's protocols in place. I'm really out of it. All we can do is practice and work. And, hey, if someone is not available, then who's next? And that's what we did. So our medical team does all that. And they're awesome at what they do. So we trust them and to do that side of it. What we've been able to accomplish this year is incredible, as I mentioned earlier. And a lot of people deserve credit. A lot of people. And so, for us to get 11 games in is incredible. And now, do I wish I'd have had some of these guys? Absolutely. I really feel for Cole and these seniors, Ian and Cam and these guys that are mainstays on our offense on that side of the ball, but even other guys that couldn't play. But I think we obviously want to play the football game because of the other seniors that are available to play. Your Rajay Burns, your Goldwires, your CJ Averys, your Des Fitzpatricks. They want to play, and they went out and showed that they improved that.
What about I asked you about what this meant to you personally with everything you've been through the last 2 weeks.
Well, I love to see the joy on our kids' faces, and there's nothing better than that. And I was telling Rocco a while ago that when Sherm caught the touchdown pass, the joy on the sideline when he came off the sideline to catch that touchdown, that's what it's all about. Like our whole team is right there, picking him up, pumping him up. Same thing with Watkins when he scored. That's what's awesome. So, it was awesome to come out and to play the way we did. There was a lot of distractions, but really, meetings with our players and our staff in here, man, they've been focused and really wanted to come out and play well, and that's what they did. So yeah, I'm proud for them.
To Tim.
Scott, I think you had 6 false start penalties today. Given how much change there was on the offensive line, that's probably understandable. But how do you account for being able to put up 45 points and 453 yards with, really a thrown together front five?
It's if you had told me we were going to score 45, I probably wouldn't have believed you. It's incredible, Tim. Some of the false starts were attributed to new guys in the lineup there. We don't like those, but obviously, we didn't get frustrated. Let me just say that, because we knew there may be some mix-ups with that as we got in there. But again, our guys didn't worry about it because I think we got I think we had 2 in a row at one point, and then we still go down to score. It was 1st and 20, and we end up overcoming it and go down and score. So we knew there was going to be some things like that. Even early on, I think we gave up a couple of sacks, and listen, we got to just play through it. We'll play through it, and then we'll move forward. And we got the running game going. I thought that helped tremendously. One thing I haven't mentioned though, it was extremely windy out here today, like extremely windy, and so you're a little bit nervous about throwing the ball down the field. And I think both teams actually got, I don't want to call it lucky, but balls were underthrown a few times, and like Des came back and caught the pass. I mean, so. But I think the running game was a difference for us because we were able to get some of those long runs and pop those runs. Mitchell's had a couple of long runs, but yeah, I think it's hard to explain how we had this many yards and 45 points. I really do think it's a team effort because the defense plays so good to help our offense out and to get going.
Cameron.
Yes, Scott. These seniors. The guys who came here when Louisville was kind of at its peak, went through a lot with the 2-10 season, coaching changes, many of them position changes. What does it say about this group that they're able to kind of stay on board with this? Seems like a very group full of perseverance, I'd say. Kind of what does it say about this group?
Well, they're great young men. That's what it says about them. And because could have been real easy to fold the tent and say, man, it's not for me. I'm not dealing with this. And the thing about football that it teaches us all is that we're all going to go through adversity, but how we come out on the other side. And these guys have gone through a lot of adversity, but they keep fighting. And I know they're going to be successful in life because of it. CJ and Dez are 2 guys that are in here right now. These suckers have been through a lot. They continue to fight and they lead and they show how it's done with a positive attitude every single day. It's going to be hard to get these guys down. I think, as they go through life, there are going to be some things that are going to happen to them, but they're going to know, they're going to reflect back to what they've always had to do, which is continue to fight. And I'm so proud of them. And, and so I can't wait to see what some of these guys do. As I mentioned, some will be back and some are moving forward. And but I'm not worried about all of them because I know the type of men they are and how they'll react to adversity. They're going to be great in whatever they do.
To Michael.
Hey, Coach, Michael McCammon from the Cardinal Authority here. You mentioned the running game was big for you guys today. Jalen Mitchell over 160 yards. Just your thoughts on his performance. I mean, it wasn't just the big runs; he had some grinded out runs as well.
He really did. He's a bruiser. I think I've probably mentioned this before. He's one of the stronger guys on our team. He's just put together that way, and he's hard to bring down. He's not a burner. I think we saw that a couple of runs. We're going to work on that speed in the offseason. But he's a bruiser, and he'll go get you some hard, tough runs. And a lot of these runs tonight, we were kind of running inside the tackles, up the middle where there's linebackers, safeties, and he's bouncing off of guys, and he's trying to move that pile forward. And those are huge because it keeps the chains moving. It just so happened he had a couple where he popped out, and it's got some long runs. I think 170 yards. So he's another guy. He doesn't say anything. He just works. And as you think about a running back position, what Hawkins did early on, and in Berkeley and now Mitchell, guys just keep plugging in there, And here's another guy who's 168 yards rushing today, and just another guy we've plugged in that's getting it done. And and so that's awesome to see. And he's another freshman. He's got a bright future.
To Tyler.
Hey, Scott, you talked a little bit about Dez. He had a big game today and then took some time to stay out on the field after and kind of soak it all in. In the time you've gotten to know him, how would you describe the impact he's had on this program as a leader and the legacy he leaves? Yeah,
I mean, just a huge impact on this program. I mean, you can think I wasn't here, but I've heard about his freshman year. Had a great freshman year. I think he redshirted right the first year. And then when he did his freshman year, when he was playing, had a great freshman year. Kind of went through some disappointments. And in the last 2 years for us, and he's been outstanding. And from the time we got here to where he's at now, tremendous growth as a human being. I think that's what I would say. I mean, you guys probably look at the football side of it, but we look at the human being side of it. And, this past year for us, his leadership and being around our guys and just keeping everybody positive. He has a great spirit about him. He's one of these guys that's always upbeat with an outstanding smile. And that's going to carry him a long ways, whatever he's going to do in his life. But he's a great football player too, you know. And I know there's times this year he's probably frustrated that he didn't get as many balls. I get frustrated too because he don't get as many balls. You know, there's some games this year where we call his number and the ball goes somewhere else for whatever reason. And but what I'm happy about is the last 2 games he's finished. Well, I guess the last 3 or 4 he's finished on some high notes, and you know, he's got a bright future.
We're going to take 2 more questions from Steve and then Kent Taylor because we've got several players to get to tonight. Thank you. Let's go to Steve.
Scott, you mentioned that in your comments that this is the last game, but with the bowl situation and bowls waiving the win requirement, if there was an opportunity, would Louisville look to take a bid, or is that off the table?
We've not talked about it, you know, in any form or fashion. I mean, I keep seeing the news coming out. I think was it Boston College and Pitt decided not to play, and I've seen I don't know how many bowls have already decided not to have a bowl. So I think it's so much that's up in the air. You know, I really couldn't answer that question.
Last question for Coach from Kent Taylor.
Coach, you talked a lot about Dez, but in the game, when you factor in the patchwork offensive line, you mentioned the wind. Malik didn't have much time. How huge was that catch on 3rd down? It was the first scoring drive you had because the offense had been struggling so much, and that seemed to kind of ignite it.
Yeah, it did. That was huge, you know, and that actual play was going into the wind. And Dez beats his guy. Malik throws it out there, so it's a little bit underthrown. Does a great job of coming back and catching the ball and gets us down to the 1-inch line. We'll talk about how you need to get in the end zone, Dez, but he's right there at the 1-yard line. That was a great play, a huge play, and that's just Malik trusting Dez to go get the football. You know, and we had another one later in the game as we were going this way, and Dez, you know, has his guy beat, and Malik throws in a wind, took it back. I think that would have been a touchdown on that one as well. Dez can kind of talk about that, but you know, we coming into the game, we knew we wanted to be able to take some shots. We felt Dez can run by him and, you know, on the outside, and we were able to. But the win today was just, you know, we want to be calculated whenever we call some of those. But that one play right there kind of felt like it got us going really for the rest of the day.
Coach, congrats on the wins and thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
We'll have several players, starting with linebacker C.J. Avery joining us, followed by Des Fitzpatrick. We'll start with C.J.